All right, everybody. We are here today with Lisa and Tom Dezolt. They are Merchant Hero clients of ours, and they have been successfully able to close one deal, and they've been able to do it by themselves in terms of prospecting and identifying merchants and all the way to closing a deal. Giving them a couple of booked appointments so far. They haven't really panned out yet, but obviously those are going to be a work in progress. So first off, Tom, Lisa, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Cool. So let's just start off with a brief, 60-second intro of kind of what you guys do for a living, where do you guys live, and kind of what got you guys started or interested in merchant services in the first place.
My name is Lisa, and this is my husband Tommy. We live in Pennsylvania. We've been married almost 10 years. I was a former nurse, and he is a utility worker. We have 4 young children, and we wanted to look for a way of passive income and to help me, maintain the the job that I work, quote unquote, quote, as a stay-at-home mom. Anything
Got
to
it.
add?
Tom, anything
Yeah,
to add there?
we got interested in doing this for to build like passive income so that she could continue to stay at home, maybe get a little more time freedom for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's good. It's a good thing for her to do, and us together.
You're one of many families and couples that obviously have started working with us for that very same reason. So that's good to hear. So let's go ahead and talk about that one deal that you guys have closed. Again, this deal was something that you guys prospected and actually closed yourself without our booked appointment service. And so if you guys want to just basically take me from the beginning and walk me through how everything unfolded, and if there's any specific situations or that you feel like are worth talking about during that process, definitely feel free to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay, at least you want to start how we did it.
Sure. Yeah, I would love to. Um, okay. So actually, the first deal that we closed was a barber shop. It was a friend. He is a friend of ours, a longtime friend. But he also does multiple. He talks to a ton of business owners. He works in real estate. He was an awesome person to get connected because he only took cash and Venmo as well in his barber shop. So we were excited to approach him with the cash discount program because, he can maintain, you know, um, the no fees that he's paying, right? By not, you don't pay any fees when you're paying cash. So he was all for it. He did have some questions and concerns like how that would work in a barber shop, if people would be frustrated with the fee that you have to pay. But he said that it's been great. He's had no issues. He's actually, referred me to other barbers, which has been great. Yeah. Anything to add, Tom?
But trying to figure out the right device for him was really good too, because John was able to get the device that was best suited for his needs and his barbershop. So just working with John helped us out a lot with
Yeah.
the assistance and stuff. With talking to John really helped us well.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you guys, it seemed like a family friend. So, you guys already had that trust and rapport and relationship was already there, which is great. That being said, were there any kind of like specific questions that he asked that maybe you needed some coaching from John on, or you maybe weren't sure how to answer, or was it pretty straightforward?
I don't know, Lise, was there any real questions that he had? I guess he was more worried about paying the fees and what kind of fees were associated with it. And when we were able to have no fees at all,
Mhm.
that's sort of what pushed him to do that.
Yeah, definitely the no startup cost. And this actually was our first time going through like the application.
Mhm.
So that was something that I had to go back and watch the video and know exactly how to fill that out. That video was super helpful. and knowing how to order the device. Like Tom said, John helped us through, ordering that, as well as multiple people at Paybotics. I think I called technical support like 10 times one day, and they were all but also like constantly, following up when there's a question, call right away instead of waiting, because that only pushed back him, signing and getting the device.
Yeah. Yeah, that was huge. A couple of things you said there were pretty important, right? It's like, one, it's making sure that we watch the videos in the membership site, because I know a lot of people like to just kind of rush through everything and go straight into booking the appointments, and then they show up and not really as prepared as maybe we want them to be in terms of understanding cash discount, understanding the different equipment, and also understanding the form. And so those are three things that we're actively working on in terms of putting a new process in place to better prepare our clients like you guys to make sure when you guys do meet with that person, if it goes directly to basically that endpoint of, hey, I'm pretty much ready to sign up, that you guys know how to actually get that done right there and then. And then the other piece you said was it's really making sure that, I think, leveraging John throughout the process is probably going to be pretty important for most people, unless they have experience with cash discount before. They're going to want to talk to an expert like him who's been around for a long time and really get his coaching and hands-on advice on, hey, for this merchant, for this situation, what equipment makes sense? What offer can we give them that might be a lower rate? It might be a free equipment, whatever promo or special deal that you guys can kind of put together for the merchant that's going to get them over that line. Obviously is going to be really, really helpful. And you're not going to be able to maybe know that yourself. So that's why talking to him would be a pretty important part of that process. Anything else that you guys want to add? I know it was pretty quick and dry, but is there like a well, for the booked appointments that we have given you, it's actually good to have this perspective as well, because I think people watching this, there's definitely some clients who we send you guys appointments for, and we're like, hey, I must have merchants that we send appointments for, and it's like, hey, this person is ready to sign up on the spot, and they're super excited and very warm and welcoming towards the whole idea. And then there's other people who are just like, very a little standoffish, a little doubtful, a little wary of what this whole thing is, and like, should they go with you? And maybe that takes some follow-up conversations and more of that relationship building over a span of weeks versus just, hey, let me go visit the store and sign them up today. So I'm curious to hear what has been your experience, and feel free to be as obviously honest and open as possible with some of the booked appointments, because we want to always paint a realistic picture of what the actual experience is out there in the field of people like you guys talking to these merchants.
The first one we had, we went up, we got the lead, we called them. They didn't really answer, so we went there to talk to them. The person wasn't there, so we got their phone number, talked to the owner of the place, and he was a little harder to deal with because of the language barrier. Lisa's really done most of like the calling and talking to the merchants, so she's been the one. Do you want to go ahead, Lisa, and explain more what you did and how you felt?
Yeah. The first lead, John really tried hard to. I want you to know that, and I communicated like the need for his help, which was awesome because he is bilingual. He speaks Spanish as well as English, and this business owner was a Spanish speaking business owner.
Yeah.
It was just the problem was getting in touch with the owner. Was the biggest thing, and John tried, and he then let Roberta know that it wasn't panning out because the barrier to getting in touch with him, even though John tried. So that didn't pan out as well, but it was a learning lesson because I think that's when I really started to lean on John for more help, and text him and call him. And there hasn't been, so we've had 2 leads since then that we're still working on, but I've had John, ready to call each time. And every single time I listen to him talk to the business owners, I just get so much information just from listening to him and having the confidence to even, communicate. Cause I'm a former nurse. I have no sales history at all. And I'm actually a pretty introverted person. My husband would like encourage me, like, you have to get in there. And 3 weeks ago, I was like petrified to go into a business. And now I walk in with a confidence that I have John in my back pocket, like anytime I need. He'll say like, "Hey, give me 5 minutes," but then I'll say, "Hey, if I really love to get you on the phone with my pricing specialist." I asked John what to call him. Said
Yeah.
specialist, pricing manager, and he gets on the phone and they just like light up and listen to him.
Mhm.
He really gets their attention and has every question answered that they have.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like what you said there, having John in your back pocket. That needs to be some kind of t-shirt or some kind of motto for the company because yeah, yeah. Every client has told me that pretty much the same thing, right? Which is, hey, I just have John literally in my back pocket on my phone, ready to go. And I walk up to the store owner, I'm like, here, you can talk to him,
Yeah.
and it works. So that's always a good thing. What have you found? Any kind of other kind of like aha moments or just maybe some, realizations that you had during this whole process? Obviously, coming somebody like you who doesn't have a sales background and kind of is starting from scratch with this whole business, that's probably 80%, 90% of the people that we work with. So I think you're very relatable to everybody watching this right now. So any kind of like maybe advice, encouragement, or just aha moments that you've had along the way?
Well, I do have a moment every time I go into a business where in my head I'm like, oh, I don't know if they're going to want to talk to me. Should I just go to the next one? And I just tell myself, like, if I just go in and say hi and start a conversation, that always leads to more for me.
Mhm.
I actually got a really great lead yesterday. And this business I went in before, it's a local pizza shop, and I talked to the brother. And the brother gave me the other brother's number, but he didn't answer my calls. And he mentioned like, oh, my brother was told by his accountant, it's better for him to just raise his prices than go on the cash discount.
Mm.
So, so I was nervous to go back. And yesterday I actually went, like, the time in between that, and I left. I sat in the parking lot and I'm like, oh, I didn't, I just, and there was quite a few, they were busy. So I left. And then I came back yesterday. I almost drove by again, and I went in and he was there, the owner. And I'm like, hey, Alex, how you doing? His name is Alex. And he was like, hey, how are you? This is a pizza shop I've been going to for a while.
Mhm.
And we just started on the conversation about his terminal. And he was very interested, and by the end he literally handed me his merchant statement and said, here you go.
Oh wow.
He
Yeah.
his entire, yeah, like he just gave it to me. And I got right on the phone with John. I gave him all of the information, and he's already working on a proposal for me.
Mhm.
But here I this guy is paying over $2,000 a month in processing fees,
Mm.
and he's paying $100 to rent a terminal that is outdated, that
Mhm.
looks like is on its last limb.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. He had no idea. So that is where and it's great because if I wouldn't have went in there, I would have never gotten the statement. I wouldn't have ever talked to him. It was
Yeah.
just that kind of telling myself, like, I can do anything. Like, I'm a mom of four. I can do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. I mean, it just speaks a lot to, your ability to, stare that fear and that anxiety in the face and still do it anyways. And then on top of that, clearly you're good at what you do. Otherwise, somebody wouldn't have this trusted stranger, quote unquote, to walk in the store and hand them their merchant statement, which basically has, a lot of like private information, right? It has like all the details of every transaction or all the, fees and all the amount of money they're transacting every single month. It's on that statement. And so it's pretty, confidential information that a lot of business owners probably don't want to easily just give to somebody they don't trust yet. So the fact that you got that obviously speaks a lot to your ability to connect with that person, build that trust, all in a pretty short amount of time. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot. It's such a great story the way you told that, because I think a lot of people who also might have that fear and anxiety starting out, they can relate to that and being like, you know what, if she can do that, I can do it as well, you know. And I've been through harder things in my life, and I can pretty much accomplish this. I just have to kind of go ahead and do it. And once I do it, it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and actually ended up being a lot easier or better than I could have ever imagined. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's going to be really relatable and inspirational to the community. Yeah. So last couple of thoughts, last couple minute here or two. Any other last parting words of advice to people who are watching this and just, you know, who might have a little bit of that fear still? Anything else you guys want to share?
Paul Alex says this a lot. Show them the value, right? And I didn't quite understand how to do that. Like, yeah, I would say, yes, I could save you on your processing fees. But now my goal is to get real numbers, right? So when I go in there, I talk to them about their volume. And so if they don't know how much they're paying in processing fees, I estimate. So I estimate and I do real math in the store. A lot of times on my phone with the calculator.
Yeah.
But being able to show them, like I showed, this is what I think landed me this statement yesterday. I showed Alex that over 3 years, which John has done this in videos also, I showed him the value that he would save by switching with us. And that was $72,000 over 3 years. And I said, what would $72,000 do for your business and your family? And he looked at me and he's like, I'm going to look for that statement a little bit more. And he did, handed it right to me. That show in that math, showing them real numbers and telling them what they can save is been a game changer.
That's huge. Tom, anything you want to add?
What I've found out is probably the best thing is like the follow up. Like go in there, and even if somebody says no, like we went to a seafood place, and when Lisa talked to him, the guy didn't want to do it, didn't want to have nothing to do with credit cards. And when she went in there again, spoke to the woman that was in there, and she's been trying for years to do it, to get the owner to switch. And now she's on board, and she's in there, she's helping us, trying to get him and showing him the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But if we followed up and constantly kept going back in there, and Lisa made a friend with the lady.
Yeah.
So the follow up, I think, is extremely important.
And absolutely. I'll just add on something to that myself. Is I've done a number of these interviews now, and it's like even the people we don't interview yet, they kind of give us feedback on some of the leads that we send them, and it's like, yeah, we spoke to the owner on the call, and he was great. He was really forthcoming about wanting our help or wanting to work with us. And then we showed up and we talked to the brother or the mother, and then they were super standoffish and basically said, don't come back, we don't want this. And then we called back again, and the owner was like, yeah, come on back. So it's one of those things where like it literally can change day to day based on who you're talking to, who's part of that business, and all of them have their kind of part to play. They all influence the decision maker, right? So that the follow-up is key. Just because somebody says no, even they might have said yes before, but said no this time, you call them back, tomorrow it might be a different answer. You walk in and actually have a conversation face to face, a different answer, right? So it's all about ultimately, like you said, the follow-up of being persistent, not accepting that first no, and just giving it a couple more tries before you finally, kind of close that lid. So cool. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I think this is probably one of the best interviews yet, because it's very, very relatable. And I think a lot of people will be able to really connect with your story. So thank you guys so much again for your time. And we'll be posting this in the Facebook group probably next week is when you can expect to see it there. And best of luck with everything. And if you need anything from us, you know how to reach out to us. So again, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Take care. Bye.